Welcome to another edition of Chroma Digitizing. In this tutorial, we'll be learning about the run stitch and the difference between Chroma Inspire and Chroma Lux. I downloaded these images from the internet, which is a little cat. I'm going to place that there, and a little fox. So these images are PNG files that I got off the internet, and we can auto-digitize them. We can do many different things, but in this particular case, we are going to show the differences between the run stitch on both software. So we're going to start off with the cat, and I'm going to zoom in on the cat really big. And this, almost the entire image can be made with run stitch, with the exception of the nose and the eyes right here. But for the most part, we can make it all with run stitches. So let's take a look. Right here, you'll notice on the left-hand side of the screen that everything that is not available to you in Inspire has a little crown next to it. And it tells you, no, you can't use it because you don't have Chroma Lux. But the run stitch is available. Once I click on the run stitch, you can see I have my little icon, the little crosshairs, and then I can draw. In the simple draw mode, like I am right now, in order for me to do anything, I have to click one at a time, and if I want to add a curve, I have to click the command key in order to add a curve. So to start this whisker off, I would click first and then drag my clicker to the next spot, hit the command key because I want it to curve, click again, drag it to the tip and just click, and notice it just made the curve for me, and I can right click and it's done. So now I have my image. If I were to put it in 3D and hide my background, let's hide the little cat. You'll notice that the whisker is there. Okay, there's my whisker. So that was with the run stitch. Now there's another way to do run stitches, which is a little bit more free-handed, if you will. If we go to this little thing right here, which is your general options, you can either hit it from here, the icon, or go to tools and select general options down here. But in this case, this is much easier. Just click here. It takes you to general options. You're going to click the digitizing tab, and under digitizing, we're going to change simple draw to freehand, and we're going to click OK. Now you'll notice that when we go to the run stitch, it turns into a little pen. And this is going to be great, and I'm going to use this to draw my little cat. So like I said, most of this image can be done just with the run stitch. So all we're going to do is just freely just draw all these whiskers and all these little details, and you're going to see how it just automatically turns out. And I'm going to keep in mind the path that I'm going to draw. I'm going to try to do all of this in just one action without stopping. So we're going to start right here, and we can just start and clicking and dragging and just draw these little lines. And I'm just drawing my little lines just like that. Just fill up the page, and you can follow the shape of the whiskers. Don't click or else it'll delete everything, just like I did right now. So just make sure you don't click, and if you want, you can start and stop. So you can do that, and then I'm going to start and stop again. So just do sections at a time. Try not to do the whole thing at once, but you just want to kind of go back, and then once you finish the section, just stop and then keep going. And now I'm going to change my stitch direction to just match that of the image, and I'm going to stop, and here I'm going to keep going. So all we're doing is just drawing. We're freehand drawing the shape, and the machine is going to sew it all. And I'm going to end that one here, and then from here I'm going to do this. So this is just clicking and dragging and just drawing by hand. This is one of the things that you can do with the run stitch. It's pretty powerful. Making the little ears, and you'll see it all come together. I'm just going to do half the face so you can see what it looks like. So in Chroma Inspire, when it comes to the run stitch, you are limited to just the run stitch. It doesn't do anything more than what I'm doing now. So I can do these little designs, which are fine and everything, but I'm limiting it to just a single stitch. And the run stitch can be used, as I am using it now, to just draw these things freehand, or you can use it, let's stop right here, there we go, or you can use it to kind of create an outline, and then you can convert the run stitch to different things like satin, complex fill, but that's going to happen in Chroma Lux. Right now we're just doing a quick little thing with the run stitch just to kind of show you what that looks like. I'm going to stop right there. So I did half the cat's face, and we're going to go to right click. It's all going to convert it. We can go to 3D mode, which we are. Now watch what happens when I hide the cat image. You can actually see the little ears and the image look out. So this is what your image would look like sewn out. It's going to look like a cat, and all this was done freehand. If I wanted to convert this to anything, I couldn't. If I right click, there's nothing that helps me convert it. If I were to draw a circle with a run stitch like this, I can't do anything with that circle. I can't convert it to satin. I can't convert it to a steel. I can't convert it to complex fill, nothing. If I were to draw a shape, let's say a rectangle, there we go, we have our square. Let's zoom in on that. Now in this case, if I go to outline and if I auto digitize it, it's going to turn it into a run stitch for me. So that's my run stitch. That's all it is, and I really can't do anything else but that. If I wanted to change this to a satin, I'd have to go into the satin tool and draw it myself, which is this one right here. And then here I would just you know, kind of do the offset like this. I showed this to you on one of the other videos on how to create the steel. And when I right click, there's my satin. The only thing is you just have to get it nice and even. With the Chroma Lux, you can take that steel stitch and change the width and manipulate it and make it do whatever you want. But with Inspire, unfortunately, this is what you get. You can use it, it's pretty powerful. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it, but you're somewhat limited. So those are the images on that. Now let's go to the little fox. There's my fox. It's actually really big. So it's always good to scale your images before you start working on them. When I click on my fox, I'm going to go here to the measurement tool, and you'll notice that it's 31 inches. That's really big. Let's just change it to 3. Let's make it a nice small little number. There it is. So let's zoom into that. Had we converted the fox to all complex fills, we would then use the run stitch to create the outline. So let's do that. We're going to click on the run stitch, and because I have it in freehand draw, I can just draw this manually. And if you have one of those tablets that allows you to draw with a pen, it makes it even easier. That way you can stay within the lines. Now you don't have to be perfect, but we're just going to make this little fox right here. And it's okay to go over the line again. Just make sure you do it very carefully. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to outline it real quick. And if you ever decide to stop, you can stop and then start again right where you left off, and it'll keep the line going for you. So try not to do the whole drawing in one shot, because sometimes I'll click another button by mistake and it'll stop the design or just delete everything. So make sure that you just kind of pace yourself and just do a little bit at a time, and when you get to a spot, just let go, right click, and then take over from there again. All right, so if I hide my fox, there's the little outline of the fox, and I can add the eyes and the ears. But if you see how this runs out, if this stitch plays out, it's just gonna do it all at one shot and continue and do the whole outline. So this is, the run stitch is great for creating outlines and things like that, and creating little shapes just like we did with the cat. Now let's see what the difference looks like between Inspire and Luxe and what you can do with it. We are back with Luxe using the same two images, the little cat and the fox. We're going to do the same thing. And we're going to show you the differences, what you can do with Chroma Lux. Let's take our fox and let's reduce that to the same 5 inches. Was it 5 or 4? I think it was 3. Let's go 3 inches and hit apply. So there's my little fox. And there's the cat. So with the cat, notice we have all these different things available to us. Everything is now active. We don't have to worry about nothing has a crown, so everything is active. We have full palette control. We're going to click on the run stitch, and while I'm still in freehand mode, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, and I'm going to start drawing. And again, the freehand tool is pretty cool. It kind of helps you do all these little things. And the run stitch will allow me to literally just draw right on the canvas as I would with pen and paper and create my image. Just remember to stop and right click every couple minutes so that it doesn't delete everything that you did. So just do little bit by little bit, and wherever you left off, the stitch will start off again. Just make sure you start off in the same point. Okay, that's it. So we're just drawing along. We're just going to make half the cat just like we did before. Just getting those shapes, and I'm going to work my way back to here, stop, right click, and then take over again. Because if I don't do it that way and I accidentally let off the mouse or I click another button like I have many times, then the image will stop. Okay, so now we're just going to keep going and make the little cat. If you're ever in the middle of a drawing like I am right now, and part of the design is off the page, you can always just hit the space bar. I'm going to right click. You can hit the space bar and drag the image out. Okay, but make sure you right click and make the stitch solid, otherwise you lose it like I just did. But that's okay, I'll just do it again. So we're making the ears, and then you can build up the stitches on the bottom. So now I'm making all the little shapes of the cat in freehand. This is a great way to digitize. You can add a lot of texture to digitizing with the run stitch. All right, so we're going to stop right there. We're going to zoom out a little bit. Let's hide the background. And again, there you can see I've got the makings of a little cat. So that's the run stitch. Now, the cool thing about Chroma Lux is that I can take this run stitch here and convert it to many different things. So if I were to select it, let's select the whole thing and group it. If I were to select it, I can select it to convert it to a steel stitch. So all this is a steel stitch at 3 millimeters. So if I were to change that to a 2 millimeter steel stitch, everything should be nice and thick, and I can even go down to a 1 millimeter steel stitch, which is just a small little satin stitch. That looks kind of cool, but that's very stitch intensive. That might take a while. The run stitch is a lot easier for this, but this just goes to show you what you can do with that run stitch in Chroma Lux. You can convert it to almost anything you want. Now remember the little square that I did? Let's go back, let's pick a square, and I'm just going to make a little square right here. I can take that square, and hitting the F7 key, I hit the selector, I can right click, and I can convert that to a run stitch. So now this is actually a run stitch. If I didn't want it to be a run stitch, I can convert it to a steel stitch, satin, complex fill, anything that I want. So this is really great. Now let's go to the fox, and I'm going to show you something else. Let's go to the fox. There's my fox. So let's do that again. So let's take our run stitch. Let's say I was making an outline, and let's just outline this his chest area, just like we did before. We're just going to do a little cursory outline of the chest. Okay, so there's my run stitch. If I wanted to, I can, let's go to F7, so we select it. I can right click and convert that to a complex fill. So there's my chest. Let me go back for a second. If I right click and I copy this, and I right click and I paste it, now I have two of them in right on top of each other, these two right here. But I'm going to take that last one, or I'm going to take the first one, I'm going to right click it and convert it to a complex fill, and let's change that color to that tan. Let's make it yellow. So we've converted it to yellow, but the run stitch, we're going to turn it black. So when I remove the background, notice how I have my outline already done on my complex fill. So I've killed two birds with one stone, essentially. By doing the run stitch first, I was able to convert it into a complex fill and then just save the outline so I don't have to do the work twice. So let's finish this fox. We're going to go back to our run stitch, and we're going to just go around the whole fox now. Real quick, we're not going to harp on too much detail. We're just going to make an outline. Okay, now again, I can take this. We're going to hit F7 to get the shortcut. We're going to right click, copy, right click, paste, and on the first one I'm going to convert that one to a complex fill, and let's make that one orange. And then on the second one I'm going to turn it black, but I want the chest to be in front of it. So all we have to do is take that little chest and put it behind there, and take the outline of the chest and put it after. And now when we go to our 3D view, look at that, we have the makings of a little fox. And notice how now I don't have to take the complex fill and outline it. It's already done. It's super easy just because I had the run stitch. Now another cool thing, if I wanted to change the border into a steel to make it a little bit thicker, I could just do that so easily. Just right click, convert to steel, and now it's going to make it a little bit thicker, but we don't want it that thick. We can make it 1 millimeter, and now we have a little border. I could take this run stitch, right click, convert that into a steel as well, and let's make it 1. And now we have a really nice little border around the fox. So it's super easy. And let's go back to the image. Let's unhide it. Let's go back to this mode. We're going to hit the run stitch again, and now we're going to just draw a little line, or just make this little tail section, and just hide the stitch underneath that run stitch. Right click, and we can take that, F7 for the shortcut. We're going to convert it into a black color, right click, and convert it into a complex fill. So now we've got a little tail section, and we can do the same thing for the entire fox. So the run stitch on Chroma Lux allows you to do many different things. So we went from just a simple stitch to, we converted it from a run stitch to a steel stitch. You can convert it to a satin, you can convert it to complex fill, and it'll save you a lot of time and effort. So instead of creating a complex fill first and then having to outline it to get the shape and the highlights, you can just do all at the same time with just a couple of clicks. So if you're enjoying the content that we're creating here at Chroma, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when we're coming up with the next great content. If you have any comments, make sure you leave them in the comments below, and let us know if you have any particular techniques that you want us to go over, or if you have any special techniques that you like to do. Let us know. I'm sure everybody would love to hear it. So we'll see you guys on the next episode.